In the summer of 1976, baseball fans across America suddenly found themselves talking about a pitcher they had barely heard of a few months earlier. His name was Mark Fidrych, but almost no one called him that. To the fans, to the broadcasters, and eventually to the entire country, he became known simply as the Bird. And for one unforgettable season, Mark Fidrych didn't just pitch well, he became one of the most fascinating figures the sport had ever seen. Fidrych was a 21-year-old rookie pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, a franchise that at the time was struggling to find its identity. The Tigers had once been a powerhouse earlier in the decade, winning the World Series in 1968, but by the mid-1970s, they were no longer dominating the headlines. Then suddenly, a skinny rookie with long curly hair and a personality unlike anything baseball had ever seen stepped onto the mound. And everything changed. Before every pitch, Fidrych performed a routine that quickly became famous across the league. He would bend down and carefully smooth the dirt around the pitcher's mound with his hands. Sometimes he talked to the baseball as if it were alive. Other times he stared at it, almost like he was negotiating with it. Then he would step back, wind up, and fire a fastball toward the plate. Hitters had no idea what to do. But the real magic wasn't just in the pitching. It was in the way Fidrych carried himself. Most players in professional baseball tried to appear calm and serious. Fidrych was the opposite. He sprinted to the mound between innings like a kid running onto a playground. He laughed with teammates. He celebrated routine groundouts with visible excitement. Fans loved it. The energy was contagious. Soon, stadiums that were normally quiet began filling up whenever he pitched. But the most remarkable part of the story was this. The performance on the field matched the excitement. During the 1976 season, Mark Fidrych went 19-9 with a 2.34 ERA. For a rookie pitcher, those numbers were extraordinary, but the deeper you looked, the more unbelievable his season became. Fidrych threw 24 complete games that year. That means he finished nearly every game he started. In modern baseball, even elite pitchers rarely throw more than a few complete games in an entire career. But in 1976, Fidrych wasn't just finishing games, he was dominating them. Opposing hitters struggled to make solid contact. His fastball had life, his control was sharp, and his confidence seemed to grow with every start. Soon, something incredible began happening. Fans weren't just coming to watch the Tigers, they were coming to watch Mark Fidrych. Television networks began requesting his games. Broadcasters talked about his personality almost as much as his pitching. Newspapers ran stories about the young rookie who talked to baseballs and turned ordinary games into events. By the end of the season, the awards confirmed what everyone already knew. Mark Fidrych was named American League Rookie of the Year. Even more impressively, he finished second in the Cy Young Award voting, an almost unheard-of accomplishment for a first-year pitcher. At just 21 years old, he had become one of the most recognizable players in baseball. It looked like the Detroit Tigers had discovered their next great superstar. But baseball history has a strange way of changing directions when nobody expects it. Because after that magical rookie season, something mysterious began to happen. The brilliance of Mark Fidrych slowly started to fade. When the 1977 season arrived, expectations around Mark Fidrych were enormous. Fans expected the same excitement, the same dominance, the same magic that had captured the entire country just 1 year earlier. But almost immediately, things began to feel different. Early in the season, Fidrych started experiencing pain in his arm. At first, it seemed like a normal part of pitching. After all, he had thrown more than 250 innings during his incredible rookie year. That kind of workload placed enormous strain on any pitcher's arm, especially someone as young as Fidrych. Still, the discomfort continued. And eventually, doctors discovered the problem. Mark Fidrych had suffered a torn rotator cuff. Today, that injury is serious, but treatable. Modern sports medicine allows many pitchers to recover from shoulder injuries and return to the mound after rehabilitation. But in the late 1970s, medical understanding of pitching injuries was far more limited. A torn rotator cuff could easily derail an entire career. And for Mark Fidrych, that is exactly what happened. He tried to fight through it. In 1978 and 1979, Fidrych attempted several comebacks with the Detroit Tigers. Each time he returned to the mound, fans hoped they would see flashes of the same pitcher who had electrified baseball just a few years earlier. Occasionally, those flashes appeared, but the consistency was gone. The velocity wasn't quite the same. The durability simply wasn't there anymore. The pitcher who once dominated the league for an entire summer now struggled to stay healthy long enough to complete a season. By 1980, Mark Fidrych's major league career was essentially over. He was just 25 years old. Think about that for a moment. Only 4 years earlier, he had been the most exciting player in the sport. Now he was gone. His career statistics became one of the strangest records in baseball history. Mark Fidrych pitched in only 58 major league games. His final record was 29 wins and 19 losses. Those numbers belonged to a pitcher who seemed destined for much more. Yet despite how quickly his career ended, Mark Fidrych never lost the admiration of baseball fans. After leaving professional baseball, he returned to Massachusetts and built a quiet life away from the spotlight. He worked on trucks, operated a farm, and remained the same energetic, friendly person people had always remembered. Whenever fans met him, they often asked the same question: what happened? Why did the magic disappear so quickly? The answer, like many stories in baseball, is complicated. A heavy workload, an unfortunate injury, and the reality that sometimes even the most promising careers can change in ways nobody expects. But Mark Fidrych's legacy was never really about statistics. It was about something else. For one unforgettable summer in 1976, he reminded baseball fans that the game could still feel joyful, unpredictable, and alive. He didn't just win games, he made people smile while watching them. And even decades later, the legend of the bird continues to live on. If you enjoy stories like this about forgotten moments and mysterious careers in baseball history, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because baseball is full of incredible stories just waiting to be told. And sometimes, the most fascinating legends are the ones that burned the brightest, even if only for a single season.